Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Sard and you're watching the Arsenal transfer show on the Football Corner. David Raya linked to the club, as well as outgoings such as Matt Turner and Sambi Lokonga. Let's get into it. Firstly, if you're new, make sure to like, share and subscribe. Let me know down below what your thoughts are so far on this transfer window and what kind of rating would you give it, as well as the upcoming season. What are your thoughts, what are your predictions? Let me know down below. I will have a prediction video coming out very soon for my prediction of this season. So let's get into this. So starting off with number one, which is David Raya, linked to the club, due to come in. Now, David Raya, good goalkeeper, very good at playing from the back. That's very key to the way we play, given that we do play out the back a lot, as we've shown last season. Most of the times we were playing out the back. Now, if we're looking at David Raya, I do believe he is a very good goalkeeper to bring in to challenge Ramsdale for that top spot. I feel like overall David Raya, I think he is a better goalkeeper than Ramsdale, and I think it will be a very good move for us to bring him in. Now, we are set to make an offer for David Raya. We're probably looking within the 35-40 million pound mark, so we will have to see what happens with that. But listen, if we can bring him in and have that competition between the two goalkeepers, who wants to they can fight for the Champions League spots as well as getting into the Premier League 11, so we have that ability to alternate between both goalkeepers. We can play one in the Champions League and then the other one will be rested and ready for the Premier League, so we'll be able to challenge on both fronts. When it comes to the goalkeeping position, have good depth within that position as well. And yeah, if we're just looking at just having a quick look at the stats for between David Raya and Aaron Ramsdale, I just want to point out two very important stats, which are the saves made. If you see here, the saves made, there's a huge difference between that. Ramsdale's 95 saves to David Raya's 154 saves made. Now, that's very important because you can see he makes more saves than him, which means that he's much more successful at making these saves, especially at important moments as well. He's got good reflex saves as well, and also the long pass accuracy, which is 42.09% to Ramsdale's 29.24%, which, listen, the long pass accuracy is very important as well, because if you're passing out the back and get pressure put onto you and then you need to just clear it and then pass it to a player, David Raya would be more likely to find either Saka or find Martinelli, who are making runs in behind. So that is also very important. And also, if we look at the passes attempted overall, 1,475 passes attempted to Ramsdale's 934, which is very important there, because the amount of passes that are attempted overall is very important and key to the fact that we do play from the back. Now, save percentage, the last stat that we're going to look at, is 77% to Ramsdale's 68.84%. Now, that's almost 10% more than Ramsdale, so that's also very important to him making saves. But overall, it looks like, based on the stats, overall it looks like David Raya is the better goalkeeper. But listen, for me personally, I don't see a lot of difference between the two. David Raya might just be a bit better than him, but we need to look at it like this. They're two very good goalkeepers who can compete with each other and push us forward when it comes to competing on both fronts, whether it be the Champions League and the Premier League, or in the other competitions such as the FA Cup and the League Cup. So I would be all up for this move, and for 35-40 million, I think that's a steal for David Raya, given how good of a goalkeeper he is. And I think he'd be able to elevate his game coming into the Emirates. So let's see what happens with this move. But yeah, for 35-40 million, I would take it and I would bring him to the club. Now, moving on to another goalkeeper who seems to be moving away from the club, which is none other than Matt Turner, who looks like he's moving or making a move to Nottingham Forest. Now, Nottingham Forest, obviously last season, they brought in Keylor Navas on loan, and I believe he's gone now. So they're looking at new goalkeepers, and they have identified Matt Turner as one of their targets. Now, I've seen two things here. I've seen one report from Fabrizio Romano saying it would be on a permanent transfer. But I've also seen another report which says that it would be on a loan with an obligation to buy at the end of it. So whichever way it goes, listen, obviously I wish Matt the best on his future endeavors, and if he does want to leave, I can understand, given that he is a US men's national team main keeper, so he wants to keep playing games, he wants to play more games, and be a number one goalkeeper for a club. So if he wants to go to Nottingham Forest, I would not be completely against it. We're yet to see what the price is that Arsenal are looking for Matt Turner, if it is going to be a permanent transfer. But other than that, right now we have to wait and see what happens with this transfer. But listen, if Matt wants to leave, all the best to him, and hopefully, listen, I wish him the best in his career. Yeah, and let's move on to the final bit of news here, which was a bit of an exciting one. Listen, you guys know what I think about Sambi Lokonga. Yeah, just not good enough for a club. And Asha Tavalieri has come out and put out a post here, a report here, which says talks advanced on their way between Arsenal FC and Burnley FC to find agreement with a loan, including a buy option that could be mandatory in the case the Belgian midfielder playing a certain number of matches. First idea of the Belgian Red Devils was to try a journey in Spain, but Vincent Kompany's team was the most concrete solution at the moment, and that would allow him to show the proof that he's ready for the Premier League. Obviously, looking at this, when he came to the club, Vincent Kompany obviously said that he was a massive fan of him, said some stupid things like he's going to be the next Yaya Toure. But yeah, listen, from what I can see, Kompany's still a big fan of him. He wants to take him off our hands. It's going to be a loan, including an option to buy, depending on how many matches he plays. So it might be like 20 matches or something like that. Listen, send him on loan with an obligation to buy or an option to buy, whatever it is. Listen, as long as we can get this guy gone, and hopefully he plays all those games so he can get taken by Burnley for good. And yeah, I don't feel like he's good enough for the club. And listen, if he has to leave, so be it. But yeah, I would prefer that we have midfielders that can play and are ready right now. Yeah, we've got enough midfielders we've got enough players that we're waiting for them to work out, i.e. the Fabio Vieiras and stuff like that, which have actually done some things, scored some goals and helped out. But every time we've given Sambi Lokonga the chance, he just hasn't shown anything. He hasn't shown any chance of him becoming a good player or fitting into the system. So yeah, unfortunately, he's going to have to leave the club. But yeah, it looks like we're trying to get a deal done with Burnley for that player. So that's it for today's Arsenal transfer show. Thank you very much for tuning in, guys. Firstly, like I said before, if you're new, make sure to like, share and subscribe to the channel. Make sure to hit the bell notification so you're notified every time I make a video. Thank you very much for tuning in, guys. Let me know down below what your thoughts are on the transfers. Let me know whether you think David Raya can be our new number one at the club, and let me know if you think he's better than Ramsdale. Let me know what your thoughts are on Matt Turner leaving the club, as well as Sambi Lokonga. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of people that are happy to see the back of Sambi Lokonga, given how long he's been at the club and the lack of stuff that he's done for us. But yeah, thank you very much for tuning in, guys. I love you all. Come on, you Gunners. Laters. Bye.